comes to fruition that they go, hey, that looks a little better than what I thought it did. I want to optimize it. So, you know how it is, I don't want to get in the middle of that argument with somebody going, well, why didn't I get this opportunity? So, thank you for clarifying, I appreciate that.
Thanks, Wynn. Next on the agenda is open silos master plan bids. So what we'll do is we will just open these today, and then we will have a committee that will go through them and make a selection. So we have a proposal from RPA, Robert Petchin Associates. We had a certain dollar amount, so I'm not going to go through and get the dollar amount because that's already established. Second is from Sanderson Stewart.
Where are they from?
Bozeman.
Okay.
And this box was not opened by Ann. Or anyone else that we know of. But it did look like it was cut. And that one is from DHM Design. And where they are from is Bozeman as well. Any public comment about these? Come on up to the podium.
Tim Rosenwald, Broadwater County citizen. You say there's a committee that's going to review these. Who's on that committee? What's the time frame for how you're going to bring this back before the commission for decision on who is going to be accepted as implementing that plan? And then I don't hear real well, so I think I heard you say that the prices is already established or not established. We'd like to know what we're talking about as far as dollars for putting this plan together. If that's not coming until later, understand, because it has to be reviewed, but at the same token, public knowledge of what's going on and what's being spent is pretty essential. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. This has been discussed quite a few times in public meetings. The total cost is $90,000, and we are lucky and blessed to have BOR anteing up half of that, $45,000. The bulk, or the match, was actually a result of a citizens group going to different groups around the community. So this is community driven, and the total is $90,000. These designs may have the total of $90,000, or they may be slightly under. As far as the committee, we'll be setting that up. We can do that right now if you guys would like. I think we should ask BOR. I think we should ask a member of the citizens group. And I think we should put it to the chairs and the lead of the agency, chair of that citizens group, and see who they would like to send to us. I also think we should have our community development coordinator involved. Anybody else you guys think of? Maybe also the rec board if they're
I was
interested.
thinking the rec board might like to have you, but.
Okay, so if it's good with you guys, we can just send emails today and
Sure.
ask if they're interested and set up a day maybe later on this week. Does that work?
Will there be a commissioner on that committee then or not?
I think it should be 3
I think it
commissioners,
should be
yeah.
all of us, yeah.
And then what we'll do is advertise it as a working meeting.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on the silos master plan? Okay, we will move on to establishing billing schedule for the county annex bills. we talked about this in our working meeting, about dividing up the building by square footage for the meeting space, and putting that out to whatever entity it is that's using the space, and then also asking either the hospital district or the BHC to pay the ambulance area. I would suggest until we get the different offices moved over there, that we just cover it, and also put together a plan, a letter for the ambulance service. Are you guys good with that? We can also wait on that till Billings Clinic gets everything finalized. Might be easier on everybody.
Okay.
You guys good with that?
I'm good with that, yeah.
Okay. So, I would suggest maybe just out of Pilt, pay those bills until we get that figured out.
Yeah.
Everybody moved, okay. So there's record in the minutes. Could I have a motion and a second to pay those until everything gets solidified, people moved over, and the signatures with Billings Clinic done, that we will pay the heating and electric bills and city bills from Pilt?
See, I want to phrase it, I guess we'll move that we pay the utility bills for the new county annex from Pilt funds until we've established the appropriate square footages for the offices using that building.
I will second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to wait until we have the renovations done, offices moved and settled in, and the agreement with Billings Clinic and BHC, and in the meantime, pay those bills with Pilt. I didn't say it nearly as eloquent as you did. I should have written down what you said. So, any public comment? Public comment? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, finance will like us for that one. The meeting room plan. You guys have, Daryl, you brought this forward. Did you want to speak to it at all?
Well, I think that was just a suggestion. I can't remember the fellow's name offhand. From Office Supply. Anyway, he made this suggestion as to a format that we could start for our new meeting space over there, and just looking for ideas. I guess when we had our working meeting where we talked about some ideas of where we would possibly like to have a projector or things like that, and I think we'd want to do our configuration that would benefit that. I guess some of the discussion is on the types of tables and chairs that we'd like to have there. I guess in my mind they need to be something that's easy for everybody to use, because not everybody can break down those tables and store them. When we're having regular commission meetings, it'd probably just be chairs. When we have trainings and when the extension is using it, they'll probably want to use the tables, I'm guessing, for their projects. So, whatever we decide on, we want to make it easy for everybody to use. And also, Mike, I think you mentioned that you were going to talk to someone locally on
I
on the table?
contacted Dan Herringfield this morning, and he would be interested in giving us a bid on this table.
Okay,
And I figured the table and the podium,
okay, yeah,
because the rest of the stuff I think we can get, if we need to go buy chairs,
right,
we can go to the state surplus.
Right.
And these tables, I think we can pick them up for pretty cheap too.
yeah.
Yeah,
The issue with the tables is, where are we gonna store them when we're not using?
Well, that was it, and I guess we talked about there to the side there that would maybe possibly be a table storage. I don't know if that's the perfect solution.
Yeah.
But one of the tables we discussed was, they call them the flip table. They were on wheels, so that they fold down and can be easily rolled aside. Then when we need them, you just flip the tops back up, rather than the types that have to be broke down each time. So I guess we can discuss the benefits of those options and costs when that time comes. I guess for now, we're just looking to see if that was a configuration that everybody agreed on. If so, then we would go forward.
My only comment on that would be, I think we need 4 at the front.
Yeah,
There's just 3 there.
right.
And then with the tables, I wouldn't be at all opposed to the Costco ones that fold up.
Mhm.
They're extremely inexpensive, lightweight, easily stored. They fold up to a very small footprint. Yeah, you're gonna have to replace them from time to time. I don't know how often they're gonna be used. I don't think they're gonna be used all that often.
Mhm.
So going very inexpensive, I think is a good option.
Sure.
And they're not gonna be out used all the time, so it doesn't matter that they don't match.
Okay.
But I like Daniel giving a bid. He does good work, great work. Any other thoughts then?
So, on that bid that we had from the prison, that's for solid wood, so we wanna tell him we want solid wood.
Yeah, we do.
Regardless of whether it's oak or whatever he wants to make it out of.
We need to make a apples to apples comparison.
Okay.
Not necessarily. If he could do something else, and I know he works in wood, so I would imagine it would be solid wood for that apples to apples. But if he could do something that is quality and perhaps not solid wood, I don't know what he would use. I would like a comparison that is maybe, if he wants to do something different, we could weigh how we think it'll last and a different price. I don't think we need to only limit ourselves to solid wood. I think we could say whatever you want to do. And we are not obligated to take just the least expensive.
Right.
We need to take the most frugal, which would mean best quality that will last the longest, because those 2 things are gonna get used a lot. Anything else on that? All right. Next we have reaffirm Certified Regional Development and Economic Development Agency is Montana Business Assistance Connection. And we have, here's the letter. It was sent to all of us via email. And we have the email explaining why this is done. But before I read this, I am going to read my disclaimer, just for everybody's hearing pleasure. There is no conflict of interest between my volunteer work for Broadwater County and the citizens and my duty as a county commissioner. My involvement with my community is comparable to other county commissioners throughout Montana. I receive no personal monetary gain from working with Broadwater County Development Corp., BCDC, Townsend Area Chamber of Commerce, Auxiliary, Rotary, Montana Board of Crime Control, Youth Justice Council, Area 4 Agency on Aging, County Board of Printing, or any other organization that offers services to the citizens of Broadwater County. I do not own a business or such property. I do not rent or lease any property or assets to any business. The best way to be an effective county commissioner is to be involved. Montana Association of Counties, MACO, has committees that support this work. Economic Development Committee, a Health and Human Services Committee, among others. So does the National Association of Counties. MCA 7-6-2527 and MCA 90-5-112 support commissioners' involvement. My husband is the Executive Director of Montana Business Assistance Connection, MBAC. MBAC is Broadwater County Certified Regional Development Corp., CRDC, and our Federal Economic Development Agency, EDA, and has been since before 2004. In fact, Broadwater County has been involved with and complied with the Public Works and Economic Development Act of 1965. Broadwater County contributes an annual equivalent of $1 million to receive services by both EDA and CRDC, and is required for that assistance. That $1 million equates to less than 3% of MBAC's operating budget. That $1 million is not paid to Brian Colbert. MBAC derives its funding from many sources, including EDA, CRDC, interest-bearing revolving loan funds, grants, state contracts, and membership from local businesses and governments, city and county, including Lewis and Clark and Marr counties, Augusta, East Helena, Lincoln, Townsend, and White Sulphur Springs. But the benefits to Broadwater County are far more than the 1 mil. There is no conflict of interest. Keep that for the record. Now Brian's email, this is from the Executive Director of Montana Business Assistance Connection, Brian Obert. Every 4 or 5 years, MBAC needs to reaffirm our contract with the federal government and the state of Montana that MBAC is providing economic development assistance in the region. This time around, both the feds and the state are lining up on top of each other. So I'm again asking that Broadwater County reaffirm your support of our organization, MBAC, as the designated agency that provides economic and community development assistance to Broadwater County and the citizens and businesses within the county. This is both for the state certified regional development corp and the federal economic development district designations. And he's attached a letter. I'll give you that too for the record. Ann? Any comments, thoughts, or motion?
Well, this was established per a resolution 2003, correct?
That is correct.
I know they've done some good things, and I would say that we should affirm their representation as our economic development
I'll second the motion.
partners. Yeah.
It's been moved and seconded to reaffirm MBAC is our CRDC and EDA. Is there any public comment? Public comment. All right. I am recusing myself from the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And again, I'm recusing myself, but there is no conflict of interest. Thank you. Right, the only other thing I think that I have is a letter I emailed to you guys, I think on Friday, and here's a copy of it. This is with the Montana, the SHPO, so Montana State Historical Preservation Office. This is just a support letter, so it is part of our consent agenda. Basically what this is our support, pledging support. It's a support letter for a grant for Bob and Gayanne Mazzola and all the work that they have been doing with SHPO for the Placer School. And I'm going to just read a portion of it. The Mazzolas have been working to preserve the land along with the old schoolhouse for many years. It's a special place, and this past year they also secured a conservation easement for the property to ensure the setting surrounding the school also be protected in future generations. One of the things that they've done is they've been working with Mr. Watson's class at the school, and Mr. Watson has directed and taught his kids how to build windows the way that they did when Placer School was built. It's not something you can find commercially. It's something very unique, and we have already another business that does historically correct spindles and have made quite a successful business of that. That would be Western Spindle. For somebody to take this project and create a career making authentic historic windows would be quite a feather in Mazzola's cap, in Mr. Watson's cap, and in SHPO's cap. This does not pledge the county to any money or obligation. It's just saying we like what they're doing.
So where is the the Placer School?
It's
It's the stone building out right outside of
Is
Winston
that the
on
one
the
that
highway.
sits off on the,
On the
west
west
side
side of the
of the
road.
highway?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not the one you can see though, but
Oh,
that
it's
is,
not?
right, yeah, that's the, stone house.
Okay.
That one
Okay.
is up, if you go beyond Winston, there's kind of a
Pole
cut across road that goes up there to the left.
Oh, okay.
It's up there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, it sounds like they've been in this project for quite a while. They've done a lot of work.
they have done a lot of work,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with the letter of support.
I'm in support of it.
Can I get a motion and a second?
Go ahead, Mike.
I'll make a motion to approve the Placer School grant support letter.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the support letter for the Placer School grant. All those in, any public comment? Public comment, come on up to the podium, Tim.
How much is the grant that you guys are supporting?
It isn't a county grant, so we don't have that information. We're supporting the project with our support letter.
It's a support letter to support the grant, so how much?
Any other public comment? All right, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And we'll sign this one, because I don't have the wrong date. Again, to the 2019 versus 2020. I thought that might be an important detail to get right. We'll take comment here in just a minute.
Okay. I just wasn't sure.
Thank you. All right, Wynn, what's your comment?
Madam Chair, you know, it's not really more of a question, or some guidance, I guess. Yesterday I received, or Saturday I received a message from a citizen in south of the county advising that somebody is dumping, I think they dumped an appliance, a lawnmower, a bunch of other things on Old Town Road. And so that's outside of our solid waste district, but it doesn't sound like it's actually on anybody's property, it sounds like it's on a roadway. So I guess, I don't know, who cleans that up, I guess is the question I'm posing. Maybe you guys might have an answer on who would actually do that. It sounds like it's happening more often, it's not small things, it's not like garbage, it's those other things that are getting dumped alongside that road. So just as more of a guidance on what we should tell people or recommend to people, or, I just don't know. So I'm asking you guys what's out there that, I mean, I don't have an idea. So it's more of a, what do we do type thing. So, and since I figured you guys have done your agenda, but I don't know if our road guys will pick that up. I don't.
Well, I know-
I don't,
Yeah.
you know, they're gonna continue to ask me, and
I would ask you to ask Mary, even though it's outside of the solid waste district, she used to work this area with DEQ, solid waste, through DEQ. She would be the most knowledgeable, so I would request that you ask her.
yeah, and I did have the guys go and sort through whatever they could find to see if they could find maybe somebody that, but it sounds like it's getting dumped in the middle of the night, when no one's moving around, and somebody's like, hey, we have, you know, this is, I said, well, we'll look into it, see what we can find, but Deputy Carousel went through it last night, and he said, I can't find anything that would identify it to anybody in particular, so I don't know if it's one of our folks up here or down there, or coming from Lord knows where, but I just wanted to kind of have a direction on where to go. So I can do that, so, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, one last thing that we have are minutes from December 30th, 2019.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from December 30th, 2019.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the minutes from December 30, 2019. Any public comment? Public comment? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And Mike, I'm going to ask you to sign them since you are listed as the chairperson. I think that's all we have. Did either of you have anything further to add or that you wanted to discuss?
I guess I had a question on our, the tax bill for the medical clinic next door. Do you want to agenda that item, or do you want to, how do you want to take care of that?
I think we need to wait to hear from Doug.
Yeah.
If he gets any kind of a response he can't work with, then we address it, otherwise it's done.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
We had a insurance claim for hail damage. That is, myself and Mike Myers went and looked at all these roofs. I don't know how far insurance fraud goes, but it seems to me that these adjusters came around and didn't take a real good look at anything. Out of all the roofs that they said that we had claims on, we could only find one roof that had an issue with it. The Mako people have told us to put the money in an account and save it for whenever something does happen to the roofs. And Mike was still talking to Bonnie to see what we should do with that. That was her advice. We're wondering what the auditor is gonna say about putting that money into an account and what we use it for and why it's there. So I guess he's still talking to Bonnie to see what's, to me, it doesn't seem right that they come out and gave us a bunch of estimates on buildings that don't need any work done. I think it's to the tune of almost $400,000. And when you get done with all the work, it's about $800,000. And the quote that we got from them was that you might as well go ahead and put the money in the bank because it's not gonna affect our rates, but it will affect Mako's rates. So if it's affect Mako rates, it affects our rates. If it affects their rates, it affects all the people in the county's rates. So if you got a bunch of adjusters running around giving money away, everybody's insurance rate's going up when they're giving out money they shouldn't even be giving out. So to me, that doesn't seem right, but I don't know what you do with it. So I guess we're gonna leave that up to the auditor and Mako and find out what they say to do with it.
We'll have the auditor here for the exit interview in about a month.
Okay.
So I think that's something we should ask him, and I don't know that it would be a bad idea to have somebody from Mako come here and address it with him, with us, in person. Should have Debbie and Mike both involved in that conversation.
Okay.
That'd be my thinking.
Tim's,
All right.
I don't know, that's all I have.
Okay. Anything from you, Darryl?
No.
All right. Tim, do you have a comment?
On this particular issue, this is under the purview of Mr. Rosendale with the auditor's office. I would highly recommend that you have that, maybe referred to his office to have him look into that. Because it's fleecing the citizens, no matter which way you look at it, from my perspective and my understanding of how that works.
Okay, any other public comment before we adjourn? All right. Come on up to the podium. You've created a monster with that podium, Darryl.
We should move it to the center. I sent that email to you guys on that MOU, so you guys should have that already for the dispatch console. I don't, like I said, I don't have all the details about because Brandon was gone, but the other one, I did want to let you guys know on, last year in June, we ordered cars. We ordered those Tahoes, and with GM strike that had occurred, push those out, from their build date. So they're being built right now versus they should already been here and on the road, and they're currently being built. They got pushed out 90 days because of that. Just won't let you guys know that's why that money is still sitting in that account, is because those vehicles haven't been built yet. The other thing that, since we are going through the process of the insurance stuff with Julie, their Centennial, there is a dog plan as well. And so there's like an insurance on those animals. And so I haven't looked at it yet, but it's their assets basically of they kind of, not necessarily under pets, but they're not definitely defined as a solid item either. But they were on there, there's just a different component to it, so I was looking at that as well. And that's for those things that, obviously, somebody shoots, stabs, or hits the dog, that covers that cost. So, I'm trying to think what else there was. It was kind of just FYI stuff. Might be missing it. So I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on those couple things. So in that email in regards to him, will you please look it over, any questions, ideas or whatever, comments, let me know, and we'll get that addressed. So, okay? Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, last chance. We're adjourned, it's 11:30. Thanks for coming, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful Monday.